Hello everybody, welcome back to PadFootTD Games. My name is Zach, I'm the voice, and actually I guess I'm just the voice behind the icon. God, I'm so used to doing vlogs now. I am the voice behind the icon, and today we are back in Cooking Simulator. No, I don't want the tray there. It's gonna fall there. Oh, come on, just be happy. Okay, we're back in Cooking Simulator once again with cakes and cookies. Just realized... Oh, yeah. No, you're the vanilla one. So we have like a bajillion eclairs to fill and put injecting goo into. We've got like 5 trays of these. So this is one of those where it's really fun if I had some music on in the background. So I'm debating one of two things. Do I sit here and talk to you? Or do we time-lapse this? I'm thinking I'm going to talk to you. If you want to speed it up, feel free to speed it up on YouTube and just mute my talking. I don't remember that bar showing up before. Was I not paying attention before? Can I go away? Why is that up there? I don't like that. Go away. I like the recipes being up, though. Come on down. I guess we did make a cherry pie. It's been so long since I started any of this. This is gonna be our next one. Boop, boop. No, I guess it's there anyways. I'm not gonna layer this. I'm not gonna put that on there. I like all the things that it's offering here. Now, did we get everything? Yeah, everything's got some cream in it. So, all right. Now I did sit here and I was like, okay, if I'm gonna talk to them, I need to make it engaging. Well, it's not going to be engaging. I'm just going to talk at you while we just comfortably spread chocolate on these eclairs. So let me fill you in. I know this episode, by the time it comes out, it's going to be just like so long since all of this, but let me just fill you in on what's been going on in my life since really the last time I had a chance to record videos. The last time that I can remember recording videos was in January. And possibly February, and that's crazy to me, specifically because so much has happened since then. As a family, we went to Hawaii. We got a brand new RV, which is my parents', not mine, definitely not mine. And so we've got a new RV. We've been able to camp in it. We've been doing a whole bunch of warranty work on it. You know, I have a new job. Let's actually just go. So we went to Hawaii. That was my mom's lifelong trip. That was like her bucket list. I have a brand new job that I also started in May. I work at Keene State College now, which is where I graduated from. So I'm an alum. So it's actually really cool to be working there. But it's amazing because I don't really feel like I've talked about this at all. Let's start with the obvious. Why did I leave my last job? You know, if you've been following the channel long enough, you would know at this point, this gun's in the way, whoop, that this is my 3rd job since I grew. What's going on here? Why are you being stupid? It's because you're not sitting on the pan well? That's not my choice here. Fine. Okay, so why did I leave my last job? Because again, if you've been with the channel, this is my 3rd job since the channel. This one was actually on all of my own terms, which was really strange. I've not like I've been fired from a bunch of jobs. I've actually never been fired. Okay, one of you stinks. Sorry, I'm surrounded by 3 of my dogs, and one of them just smells dead inside. So, back to non-ranting business. Uh-oh. Okay, I want to make sure I didn't dump anything. So, I left that job, not this one. I left this job because, it was not a good match. And the only reason why I say that, and I'm actually going to be very clear and transparent here, they were asking way too much for one person. And I'm not just saying that because, oh, it's too much for me. Da, da, da. Actually, no. The position that I accepted... Oh, right. You're already filled. Was originally 2 separate people's jobs. And I signed on for one because they promised a lower workload. They weren't going to do as many shows. I was like, heck yes. There's one little chocolate chip cookie in there. I didn't even see him. And I was like, okay, let's do it then. I'm worried about overworking and overstressing, but if that's really what it's going to be, and that's what you promise it's going to be, and because I was also going to be teaching, so of course I'm a college professor, so I'm teaching classes, I'm building all the sets, I was making all the props, I was supervising all the crews, I was designing all the lights, building everything. I was doing everything except the actors, which unfortunately, I'm going to be running out of filling here shortly, started to weigh on me. God, am I really? Yeah, it's still got cream in it. Okay. That took a toll on me. Plus, that job was literally an hour and 20 minutes away from where we lived. Now, of course, in COVID and everything, and us moving out from my first job, we made that decision. That's so weird that I've got so much still sitting in here. Huh. Because fundamentally, I should have enough to do 10. Just that plunger, the animation's not correct on it. So, whatever, as long as it's going in there. Yeah, they all have cream. I'm just going to fill it back up to feel better. Cool. And I'm so glad that it was out of frame exactly how much I just took. So, so when I had taken that... Ooh, there is food coloring over there. I got to remember that. We're starting to get into spooky season. We could make this a lot of fun. So, I started the job and everything was fine. During COVID specifically, I taught remotely for a year. So the first year there was a cinch because we were not there. And then we did one show where I did build a set, and I actually ended up having to be the set designer for it, which I'd done before, and I'm pretty good at. Not to stroke my own ego. I don't want you way over there. Not to stroke my own ego or anything, but I was pretty good at it. And we did that, and the first year was great. Everybody loved it. Everybody was happy. When we came back, I was so excited to finally have students actually in the space to stop doing the COVID thing. Oh, that's not in there correctly. What happened to you? Yikes. Oh, God, there's even some on the ground. What happened? The Eclair Massacre. Wait, can I? I can. Okay. Are you just going to be floating there forever now, I think? Come on, buddy. Thank you. So, yeah. So, when we came back, I was so excited and so filled with hope that I was ready. I was ready for them to come in. I was ready to teach these students who wanted to learn. And guess what? They did. They wanted to learn, and I did that. And the teaching portion of that was amazing. And I miss my students every day. You know, I've missed students from... I've been a teacher literally since I graduated. So I miss every one of my students. But I miss these ones in particular because, you know, they were getting ready to do this for a living. And, you know, we connected so well and, you know, it felt great. And then we started building shows. Now, what my contract originally was supposed to be was 2 main stage shows, a student piece, which was supposed to be lighter, and then we were going to do a film. Well, then it turned into 5 shows, and the film, they'll be taken by care of somebody else so we can add more shows, right? No, we have no budget or time or effort or anything for anybody in it. And when we got to our first show in the space, so I'd done everything, I was working 14 hours a day down there, driving an hour each, sleeping, getting up and doing it all over again for weeks, and it was killing me. And especially since they didn't have a hard stop time and they wouldn't take my suggestion, even though I'm the technical director, I'm in charge of that. to put a cap so that I could drive home safely, and nobody cared. So, you know, we already started having that. I had so many notes to do because there were nobody else to do the notes. It started to crack and fall apart, but I did it. We got to the show. I put it all together, and what do I hear afterwards? Even though everything was there, it was perfect quality, everything. We want more. We want it bigger and better. And I tried to say, you can't have a lighting designer who is 100% a full-time job and a technical director who is a full-time job, and then at 100%, and then expect one person to go at 200%. I'm like, you're going to kill somebody. And it was at that point I was like, this isn't going to fit. They're not listening to make things better. I had been verbally threatened by some of the staff there. That's a whole nother thing that we'll go into. And it was to the point I was like, no, I'm done. I've got to be done. I said, we've got to find me another job. I didn't even start looking yet. I just knew that, hey, if something comes up, and all of a sudden I get a message from Danielle saying the old technical director from Redfern Arts Center left, and that the job was open. Now, that job is 20 minutes from where I live. That is a theater that I know inside and out because I was trained there. These are people who trained me to do what I do. And I couldn't believe it. It was like a message from the sky. It couldn't have fallen in my lap any better. And I ended up applying. I had my interview, and I got the job. Unfortunately, I was still under contract, and, you know, I was still teaching my classes at my last job at Mount Holyoke College. So I couldn't start until May. There started to be, you know, I had talked to everybody there and said, hey, by the way, I am leaving. I will not be coming back next year. I said, we really need to have a talk about the department, where it is, the people who have gained control of this department, because it became a hierarchy, and it's not supposed to be. Everybody there is exactly at the same level, but I felt like the jester in the courtroom, while the kings and the queens got to sit up on their thrones. And I talked to them about that, and they've really actually tried to look at it. No idea what they've done since I left. I don't care. But I just said that this can't happen to... Oh, my God. Come on. Just place them on there nicely. We tried so hard with these. And I was like, this just can't happen again. I said, we've got to look at this. You have to really look at this and just make sure somebody doesn't go through what I went through, which was just... It was hell. It was hell for a year. And luckily, I had the opportunity to get out. One thing I will talk about before I talk about the new job, because I did bring it up, and I feel like I can talk about it now, is literally I was verbally threatened at this job. Okay? And I was verbally harassed. I won't go into who or the exact details, because as far as I know, it's actually under investigation. It was somebody who was going to be able to be tenure. And in case you don't know, pretty much tenure, if you don't sleep with a student and you actually show up and half-ass teach your class, they can't let you go ever. And this person was right on that track. And it was a nightmare. It was to the point where I talked to my department chair about it a lot every time that it happened, because it was a continuous thing. And I was assured that the dean of faculty, the person who makes all the decisions, was included in all of our conversations. When I left, and because I was going to be starting my new job early, since my contract technically goes until July, even though I'm done teaching in May, when I met with them, I told them about everything that had happened. And they couldn't believe it. And I said, how is that possible? I was told that you knew. And they told me, no. Nobody's told me anything. It was kept from... Hey, I was able to pick up that pan. Sorry. That's some instant excitement. Cool. I was told that they were never notified. They had kept it secret And they had kept it from the powers that be making these decisions. And they told me after, usually they would not let somebody go out and get another full-time job. But because of what I had done, and pretty much since I decided not to sue the school, because I guess I was on the grounds to be able to do so, that they would let me out of my contract. And they would finish. They would pay me. They would pay me the rest of my money, and I could go off and continue with my life. And I got a very sincere apology from the dean of faculty that this had happened, and they assured that it was never going to happen again. Whether it will or not, I don't know. I can't recommend that anybody go teach at this facility. The facility itself for children going to learn, young adults going to learn, I think it's still a great institution, and I'd love to say the theater program can get better, but something really needs to change there. That is for sure. But I was reassured that it was going to change. Now, I kept up with it. I have kept in contact with my students to see where it is now, and I actually had talked to people before as well. So they had decided on my way out, after having conversations with me, that they were once again going to have to make this a 2-person position. That was my first thing. I said, if you really want to be able to do this, you need to have 2 people, 2 full-time people, to be able to do what you want to do. Well, here's where they landed. They are going to do 4 shows this year, and they are going to reuse the set. They are going to make a set that can be reused 4 times. Fine. That's actually rather smart. Oh, but why are you doing that? That seems really strange. Oh, we're doing it because, bum-ba-da-dum, guess what? We're not hiring a full-time technical director for a full-time program. We're only going to hire a full-time lighting designer because that lighting designer is now going to work for dance as well. They didn't learn. A part-time technical director is for a program that might do 2 shows a year. Unless you want them to be really small scale. Okay? I don't know where they are coming from. Oh no, we're at icing. Let's go grab some more chocolate glaze. Should be this one. And, a full-time lighting, and that's great, but you need somebody to actually build the set and train the crew and everything. So I don't know where they're thinking. I've talked to my students, and it sounds like the lighting designer thinks that they're on Broadway, which is great from a professional level, but I've seen people do this in colleges before, and when you do this, you actually end up hurting the students more, because if you over-design, you don't have the time to actually talk to your students and teach them, exactly everything you're doing, because you're doing just so much. I've always been against people over-designing and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's where it stands, and it's bizarre. It's not my problem anymore, and really, I probably shouldn't even be talking about it the way that I am. And I didn't have any disclosure or anything on the way out, so my opinions are mine and mine alone. But it's so easy for people to forget that technical things in theater can't happen in a blink of an eye. It doesn't say, oh, I want you to build a wall, and I can just imagine it to be, or grab it out of a closet, or grab it off of a costume rack. I'm not also a believer to say everybody was out to get me. But the problem that had arisen there is that the person who kept on threatening me, one of them, the one that was worse than anything, the one that students actually saw threaten me, is on his way to tenure, and nobody's willing to do it. And then the only other person in the room was also somebody who's learning from that you could treat people that way, which was just very unfortunate. And then even on the costume side, I would share things in confidence and confidential with them, and it turned out that they would pass it along. It became like a weird little gang. And it was very uncomfortable just to be around. So that is why I changed jobs. And sorry, that was a long rant. We will get this apple pie crust going for this European apple pie. But now I'm happy where I am. It's more of a 9 to 5 until we have shows, and it's like a roadhouse. Things come in, things leave, and I'm happy as a clam, I should say. And I have no intentions of looking back. But I want to thank you guys for sticking through this episode if you did. I know it was just us getting eclairs going, making it pretty. I actually want to see if they sell. So we're going to do that and end the day here. Let's actually, you know what? Let's do some housekeeping really quick. I might as well. While I'm finishing this up. So I'm very happy of where I am in life. And that's where I am professionally. What's also nice is that here, because they've been doing it for so long, they know what it takes to do my job. They don't take it for granted. And I'm not saying, oh, you got to be praised for your job. I don't believe in that. But being acknowledged that your job isn't just sitting behind a light board pushing a button to make a show happen is actually really nice. So very happy where I am. Very happy making videos for you guys. And I really do thank you for giving me this platform to be able to rant my way through and overall have a good time. So thank you for a little bit different version of Baking Simulator. And next time we come in, we're going to be building some European apple pie. But that's going to do it for this one. If you enjoy what you saw, we do try to get a video out here on the channel every single day. And, oh, well, I can't start yet. No, we're going to do this. Gosh, I am just completely out of whack. Would have only had an hour anyways, so let's just see what sells. The eclair is going quick. Pretty much everything. 30th. Hey, we moved up too. All right. Whoa, we made a lot of money though. Cool. Yeah. All right. So, of course, it took more effort. It took more time, but we were able to make more. What got left behind? We got one muffin. That cookie's still sitting there. And that's it. Everything else was sold. So, this is going to be a pie. So we're going to be probably baking more than one thing next episode. I'm going to hit this, and we're going to play some lovely music. Thank you guys so much for coming out to this one, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.